I'm Hudson Curtis. I'm here with Clint today, one of the original members of Result Suite. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. One question I want to start asking you is, how has your experience been with Result Suite so far?
I'd say overall the experience has been life changing. If I think back when I first started this, I can remember thinking through what it might be like. But until you get in it, you really don't have a clue. When you look at this from two facets, whether that's financially or whether that's your experience in your life, it has been a benefit in both. So when I look at the financial piece, we'll go through that in detail in a moment. There's been huge network gain over the past 6 to 8 months. When I look at the experience, whether it's for me or my clients, all of those have been very rewarding. I never expected to have the relationship that I have with my clients. I never expected to actually see life change happening for the individuals I'm working with.
That's good. And you mentioned the net worth. So how long you been inside the system, and in that time, what has your net worth been?
So officially running inside the system probably since February or so, mid-February. I've gained in terms of net worth, currently titled to my company. I have over 10 homes. I have contracts out that are being signed right now with a sixplex and a threeplex. So I look at net worth gain conservatively on tax appraised value, looking easily at 1.5 million.
It's a good number.
Yep. It's been a lot of work. It's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight. So there was a lot of things you have to do day in and day out to make that happen. So I don't want people to get confused by just the number itself. Oh, it's easy to do. There's a lot of hard work, dedication, time, resources that go into this.
So have you been kind of killing this yourself, one man job? Do you have a team behind you, or how does that process work?
Very good question. I would say anytime you're trying to do something well, you need to have a team. When I first started out, I was doing it on my own, and I was basically coming in day out, and that's tough when you're doing it on your own. It's tough to keep yourself motivated sometimes. It's tough to keep yourself on track, and it's tough to know what you don't know. So when you surround yourself with good people, you're able to move a little bit faster and have the ability to sometimes pick up on things that you might have missed. So I brought in a partner kind of midway through, and we were able to really start running a little bit faster and learning from each other at the same time.
So talking about the team aspect, how would you, on our side of things, the Result Suite side, how would you say our customer relations have been in that aspect?
Yeah, so anytime you're signing up for a service, you expect to get what you're paying for, right? So part of it is there the potential for gaining what you expect to gain if you put in the hard work and have the time and resources? And then if you come across issues, are you going to be supported through those issues? So when I think about everything that I come across, there are resources inside the Result Suite that will help you through that process, whether that's going through bankruptcy, whether that's going through how to set up quitclaim deeds, warranty deeds, affidavit of heirship. If it's just a question in regards to the fundamentals in terms of banking, all of that has been conversations that I've either had with Scott or his team, and it's been what allows you to be successful inside of the system.
So speaking on Scott, how has he been for you? How would you describe Scott and Cole as well, and how they do things?
Yeah. So I sat in with Scott in December of last year to talk about this and talk about where this might be headed, and I ended up signing up. As you mentioned, I was the first member of the Result Suite. Scott has been a mentor to me for the entire time. Scott has allowed me to learn from some mistakes, but hasn't let me make big ones, right? So he's always been someone that I can go to. He's receptive to my phone calls. He's attended to situations and deals when it's time sensitive, and it's been an awesome experience just thinking about how I've been able to progress through this with his support. When I think about Cole and his ability to kind of circle the team up and to pull them together, and it's always again a go-to person when I need something. It's been an amazing experience.
That's good. Earlier you mentioned relationships, and you didn't expect them to happen. How have those relationships, how have they acted, or how have they reacted to your services?
So if I look at my clients, I think when you talk about this, and it's basically when you look at this in the sense of gaining real estate, you are gaining net worth, you're acquiring houses. A lot of people can miss the fact that you're helping people while you're doing this. And what I mean by that is these are individuals that are losing their homes. They're either up against it where they're about to be evicted, or they're at risk for potentially being evicted and completely losing the house. So when you come and you're talking through solutions with them, almost their last resort. So they see you as someone that's an advocate for them. They see you as someone that's there to support them through this. Every single one of my clients are very positive. They actually have told me that they feel like Jesus has answered their prayers. Like, and I had to take a step back when I first heard that. I was like, wait a minute, I'm acquiring your home. I'm helping you stay in it because you're about to get kicked out, but you're very grateful to me for doing this. That it took me a little bit of time to basically grasp, right? Because how do you have a situation where you're able to gain your net worth and have the people you're working with love you at the same time? You can't have a better job than that.
So how would you describe the personal relationship versus the business relationship? How do those interact with each other on that term?
With the clients?
Exactly.
So in the sense of the personal relationship, it is through the business. I mean, they see it as the business is supporting them. So there is basically a merger of that. But in what the business does for them, and since what Resolve Suite allows us to do for them, it allows us to give them a roof over their head. It allows them to have stability in their household. They know there are things, obligations they still have, but we are able to set it up in a more attainable monthly perspective and a monthly leasing agreement to allow them to still live their lives and to start gaining their network.
Going back to Resolve Suite and the software, how would you describe it? How simplistic is it? How much easier does it make your job?
Yeah. So I would say I'm a little bit unique to all the members because I started out doing this manually. Again, as I mentioned, Scott mentored me along the way and allowed me to kind of learn through trials and tribulations from start to finish, cradle to grave. Looking at doing this manually, it takes you time. It takes a lot more hours to go through and be able to capture the data. Resolve Suite simplifies that. It simplifies it in the way that it presents the data. It simplifies it in the way that it's able to give you access to the key pieces of information you need for reaching out and touching clients and supporting them, whether that's through basically cell phones, whether that's the contact information. It allows you to help the people that need help. It gives you connection points to those individuals that are out there, and we're just not aware of them, but they need support, and we're able to then support them through it because the software allows us to connect with them.
Do you have any final thoughts, any closing statements about us, yourself, your clients, anything else like that you'd like to speak on?
I'd say anytime you're looking at something that presents itself as a way to gain net worth, you're always going to be skeptical. I was. I came from a corporate background, right? I was day in and day out basically looking at a biweekly check and that reliable income. This is a different world. You can absolutely, with the right time, attention, and detail and resources, you can absolutely gain your net worth. But it's not for everybody. It's not easy. If I go back and I look at what I discussed with you earlier, 10 homes, right, with 2 or 3 contracts out right now to come back in, that's a lot of homes. Mm-hmm. But you have to have the financial ability to do that. Like, let's just say you're able to, roughly, on those 10 homes, I was able to grab them for about, we'll be conservative, so 30% of the value, a little bit less than that, but 30% of the value is all the homes. You look at construction, you look at expenses, you look at what I acquired them for, etc. 30% of 1.5 million, you can do the math on that, where you come up with the financials to do that. So either you have them, or you're going to have to come up with additional ways to gain them, which you can inside of the system. The system will allow you to walk or run as fast as you want to based on what you bring to the table.
That's awesome. Well, Clint, we appreciate the time today. Thank you for your thoughts, and we wish you the best of luck in the rest of your journey.
Awesome. It was a pleasure sitting down with you.
We appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.